Alrighty, everybody, welcome to the Casual Sports Talk Podcast, March Madness Final Four edition, and we got our two other panelists right near. The man, the myth, the bald legend, Fyodor. How you doing?
Stu, I'm doing great. Always a pleasure. Thanks for having me again. Love it.
And right here, that's on voice, but somehow does not want to be on camera because he's driving right now for safety reasons. Here's Douglas.
Yo, yeah, I just got back from Phoenix this morning, partying out there for the Final Four. It was a good time.
Yes, and we're going to talk about the Final Four, and also like a recap of the Sweet 16, and we'll talk about all these. So, I guess I would talk about it, gentlemen. What is your thoughts on this March Madness Sweet 16 to the Final Four right now?
Stuart, can I go first on this? So the last 2 or 3 podcasts we've been talking about this. I've been going hard on NC State, and look where they're at. NC State Final Four. It's gonna be a tough matchup, but man, they've been doing work. So let's go Wolfpack.
Yes,
I think you putting some money on the money line, Chris?
So right now Wolfpack are +9. As much as I would love to see NC State move to the championship against probably more than likely UConn, I'm taking them to cover +9. So I'm at NC State Wolfpack +9.
Nice.
I wish I had the confidence I did the last couple rounds that they were going through, but yeah, Purdue is they're playing Purdue, right? Yeah, NC State versus Purdue. It's gonna be tough. So yeah, Zach Edey 7'4".
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, how's you feeling, Douglas, on this Final Four March Madness?
You know, Stu, as much as I ragged on the first 2 rounds, like I think that these last couple rounds made up for it for me. It was it's so unpredictable, fun games, good vibes. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. I've enjoyed this March Madness.
Yeah, this honestly, I think NC State probably did redeem this Sweet 16, making it to the Final Four. I think honestly, yeah. I mean, Alabama, okay, that was like an okay one. They made it to the Final Four. That was at least good. UConn has just been dominant. I mean, we'll probably talk about probably the most boring one is probably the UConn. But yeah, NC State was a pleasant surprise. But interestingly enough, do you remember when I talked about that, statistically speaking, if you don't win your conference, you're not going to win the March Madness tournament? That's never happened in the March Madness tournament.
So Stuart, I'll go piggybacking off that. Have all 4 of the teams in the Final Four, did they win their conference?
Yes.
They did. Wow. Okay.
And
I have to remember that for next year when I'm filling out my bracket.
When we get to the Duke game, Duke did not win their conference. NC State.
Yeah, you're right, because NC State won the ACC.
Yeah, get those Dukies out of there.
Yes, but anyway, I guess we can probably talk about the first part, kind of the boring of the Final Four. I guess we can talk about UConn dominating, but like I said, I guess we can talk about the fallen teams that have been eliminated right now. Thoughts on Iowa State going out of the game? 69-72. It was a good game.
Do you gentlemen think that if Iowa State would have beat Illinois, it would have been a better matchup in that Elite Eight, UConn versus Iowa State?
No.
Really?
I do. Yeah, I do.
I do. Yeah, I do.
I think Iowa State was just playing better ball, but no.
I think I don't know. I just feel like UConn has just been so dominant right now in this basketball so far.
I forget the center's name for UConn, but man, he's a beast. When they give him the ball, he knows how to play defense too, blocks. Yeah, he's a monster out there. So yeah, he's a force to be reckoned with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, unfortunately for Iowa State, the Hawkeyes, unfortunately, they got duck hunted right now. Unfortunately, the Hawkeyes got. There's no more Hawkeyes.
All right, who Iowa Hawkeyes? I mean, who are you talking about?
I mean Iowa State. Oh, sorry, Iowa State.
Cyclones, baby, Iowa State Cyclones.
Unfortunately for the Cyclones, it's the participation is very low.
Hey, but still impressive. They made it to the. Was that the Sweet 16?
Yeah, they did make it to the Sweet 16, so I don't know. Would you say it's a success or not? I mean, we did pick Iowa State to make it to the Final Four incorrectly. And spoiler alert.
I think anytime that you're a top 4 seed, anything less than the Sweet 16 is a giant disappointment.
Yeah, I think, and it is interesting. So, like I said, I did look back at our brackets, and we have no team left in the Final Four correctly. All the teams we picked were wrong. We had Iowa State.
Hey, pay yourself on the back, gentlemen. Well done.
Well done on not picking any teams to make it to the Final Four.
I can't wait for next year to see if we do the same thing.
Yeah. I think we deserved our confidence in the first video, no doubt.
Yes, we did not have
bracket, boys.
So based on the correct teams we got in the Final Four, we might as well play the Powerball tonight for that $1 billion. I mean, we're good at picking stuff, right?
Oh.
Yeah, because that's not a waste of money.
All right, so man, so yeah, UConn. So
I guess we get to talk about also, since we're Iowa State's out, we can talk about San Diego State getting eliminated by and it's the craziest part, this was the rematch of the championship last year. And just like the championship last year, UConn still beat San Diego State.
We had that matchup in our bracket. I know that because we were all gung ho about the rematch of the last year's championship. Yeah, man, winning by 30 points. That just shows UConn's dominance, you know.
And the craziest part is, I think a quarter of their players, or like half of their players in UConn, has been left and went to the NBA, and they're still dominant. I mean, it's crazy to think about it.
It's crazy.
Yeah. UConn's a dynasty.
Yeah. So does that mean? Does that mean you guys think UConn's gonna make it to the championship come Monday, and then you guys think they're gonna win it all?
I think they're gonna win it all.
Well, first, can we talk about the lady UConn game there?
Oh, against Iowa? Oh man.
Yeah, what do you guys think of that call?
That offensive call was, I completely agree with the call. It was a moving screen. I was doing some other things last night, and I somewhat saw it, but I didn't really see what the final call was. But yeah, it was a moving screen. Correct call. So yeah.
See, I don't know. Like, you could make every call correct, but then it's like there's so many calls in the game that weren't correct, and like I don't know. I agree with what Alex said. It's like it probably technically was, but like, come on.
I mean,
nobody wants to see a game end like that.
And I know we're talking about basketball, but it kind of reminds me about the new rule. And I know we're probably going to talk about it with free agency, like the getting rid of the tucked tackles. Remember, they changed the rules with the tackles.
A hip drop.
Those hip top tackles, yeah.
Hip drop.
Which I will say.
Not really sure how that correlates to this college basketball talk, Stu, but we'll save that for a later podcast, right?
Yes, but like I said, I digress. We're gonna wait until we get to NFL free agency to talk about that.
Oh, that's gonna be a great talk on the Casual Sports Talk podcast.
Oh yes, I feel like that's gonna be at least. This is. I know we'll probably. Basketball, but when we get to
transitioning back to women's college basketball, it's here in Cleveland, so it's amazing that Caitlin Clark is bringing her domination to Cleveland, Ohio.
Hey boys, guess who's performing tonight for the men's Final Four in Phoenix? Last night
that's tonight. Oh no way!
Yeah.
Wow.
Tonight's the Jonas Brothers. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're performing in downtown Phoenix.
Is that why you're leaving Phoenix, Doug?
Oh man, I almost extended my stay. I want to see the Jonas Brothers.
You wanted to see the bros.
I want to see the bros, man.
The Joe Bros.
That's cool, That's a good guy, but I want to see the Jonas Bees.
Oh wow, yeah. So Denver versus Boston University today at 5, and then at 8:30 Michigan versus Boston College. I watched those games like crazy last weekend, but I totally forgot they're on this weekend. Whoa, all right.
Oh, that's tonight?
Yeah, it's tonight. Michigan plays at 8:30.
Anyway, I digress, everybody. Like I said, we can probably we'll discuss the still dominance right now. UConn beating up Illinois 52-77. Gentlemen, what was your thoughts about this kind of boring game?
I didn't really watch too much of it, but based on that score, domination right there. The domination station, UConn.
Yeah. And do you have any sad thoughts on Illinois since they're now out second?
I mean, they represented the Big Ten well. I mean, Purdue is right there in the Big Ten, but yeah, good job. We had Purdue. Big Ten had two teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard. It's hard to judge a team playing against UConn. I mean, UConn just looks.
I think it's a little bit tough. And granted, Illinois did not win the Big Ten. And like I said, if you talk about the history, if you don't win your conference, you're not going to win March Madness. UConn won their conference. Illinois did not.
Yeah, they make it a championship game. Are you talking about the regular season or the conference tournaments, too?
The conference tournament, basically.
Did Purdue win theirs?
Yes, Purdue did win theirs.
Oh, they beat Wisconsin.
Yeah, so Stu mentioned that all four teams in the Final Four have won their conference championships, which is, that's impressive. So, yeah.
Like, we're specifically talking about the conference tournaments, though, not the
not the regular season, but the actual conference tournament. So, yeah, like NC State, they beat Duke, I think, in the conference championship for the ACC.
Yeah, I
had no idea Alabama won the SEC and UConn, wherever they're from. Yeah,
Alabama won the SEC tournaments too, didn't they? I'm pretty sure Florida and Alabama did not.
I believe.
Hey, sir, can you look that up? I want to make sure that these facts are actually facts.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure they lost to Florida. I think they lost to Florida, but I might be wrong. It was like 3-4 weeks ago, but I don't feel like Alabama won their conference tournament.
Okay, I'll look it up real quick.
All right, here we go.
Let's look it up right here. The great friend Google is my friend.
I think it was Tennessee, Stu. I feel like it was Tennessee.
SEC basketball.
Auburn defeated Florida 86-67 in the championship game to earn an automatic bid. Wow. So we were completely off. It was Auburn.
and look how Auburn did in the tournament.
Wow, so Alabama wasn't even in the SEC championship game. It was Auburn. Well, Auburn's in Alabama, right? So I guess the same.
All right. I know we're
Auburn
not professionals.
Florida. Wow.
Yeah, but I honestly going to say this. I think UConn's probably going to win this whole thing.
I mean, they're definitely the favorite right now. I think they're minus 200 to win the entire thing, and that's very impressive for out of four teams.
I'm gonna root for Purdue. I'm gonna think Zach Edey gets it done.
Yeah, I'm hoping for Purdue as well. Let's go Big Ten.
Statistics since we're into the stats today.
But also interesting fact, and I guess we'll talk about it. So UConn is the only one that is the recent Final Four that's made it recently because they won the championship last year.
Can I present another fact here too?
Yes.
Do you remember? So there's only been one other time in history that a 16 seed lost to a 1 seed. Do you remember who that was?
Purdue.
Well, this other one. It was Purdue. But
Virginia.
What did Virginia do the season after, Stu?
They won the tournament. They won the tournament.
They won the tournament. That's a stat right there. Let's make it 2 for 2.
Yeah, and like I said, I think that I will be honest with you. I think that Purdue team this year's Purdue team was way better than last year's Purdue team, especially on the 3-pointers.
That's good. Hopefully they can get her done.
Yes, but like I said, I definitely do feel like UConn has been pretty dominant. I think when we get to the other tournament, but like I said, I digress. But we'll probably go to the Alabama tournament right there. How Bama has made it. So we'll talk about them barely beating out North Carolina right now. 89-87. We had North Carolina to make it in this tournament. What's your thoughts about this, Devin?
I know this one I was picking against you guys. I changed my mind, but I don't know. Alabama just has a weird feel to them. I'm going back to Alabama right now, and I'm like, I wasn't surprised by it. I thought North Carolina was a week 1 seed. Like, they didn't win their conference tournament. They didn't really do anything super impressive. So, not surprised. It was a good game. It was a fun game for sure.
Wait, which game are we talking about? Alabama versus Clemson?
No, Alabama versus North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. North Carolina, I picked them to win in, I think, 2 out of my 4 brackets I filled out, and man, terrible. Oh, well.
Terrible picks right there. Sorry. But unfortunately, we have to say, so we got to do our eulogies. Eulogies on North Carolina. You said they were the weak tournament. They were the weakest of probably the number ones. Wouldn't you probably agree? Is it them or Houston?
Houston, Purdue, North Carolina, and then UConn. So out of those four, I'd say bottom two, Houston, North Carolina. Out of those two, North Carolina, the weakest out of the top.
I don't know. I feel like Houston might. I think I'm actually kind of convinced Houston, just because they barely beat out another team. But like I said, I digress. We got to talk about.
Well, I mean, Houston was also ranked number 1 for like most of the season, so it's like North Carolina. I don't even know how they got there. Like they didn't do anything impressive.
Yeah, North Carolina, they had a rocky season. Yeah, and like you said, Doug, I'm not sure why they were a 1 seed.
Well, yeah, like they had 7 losses. Like they didn't win their conference tournament. I don't know. I didn't really get it. Like they didn't make sense to me as a 1 seed.
But if you look at this region between North Carolina and Arizona, the top 2 teams, who's a 3 seed? Oh, Baylor. Out of those 3 teams, I'd have to pick North Carolina as the 1 seed. Because I don't think Arizona was worthy of a 1 seed. Baylor, not so much either. So I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is crazy right there. But like I said, Bama advances to the Final Four. And I guess we should probably talk about the other one. Like I said, we'll probably do a little blip. Arizona got eliminated against Clemson, 77-72. Gentlemen, what's your sad? How do you feel about Arizona not making it to that next round, as always?
It seems like Arizona never really does too successfully well going deep into the tournament.
I feel like they're always in this spot. It's like they're eliminated with 32 or the 16. I don't feel like they ever make it to past that one spot.
Right.
No, they don't. I don't know what their issue is too. Like I talked to some of my Arizona folks when I was just in town, and they all just kind of shrugged their shoulders. Like, yeah, we know. They never actually like do good in the tournament.
They never achieve, unfortunately. So what is the mascot for the Arizona? Is it the Bobcats?
Arizona. Oh man, that's a good question. I don't know why I'm having a brain fart. I can't think of it.
Yeah, what is it? The Arizona A's?
Wildcats.
Wow.
You guys can't. Wildcats.
Okay, I was right. That was close enough. I mean, Bobcat, Wildcats. Okay, it's sort of close.
Arizona lost in the first round last year to they were the 2 seed again. They lost to 15 seed Princeton. So yeah, Arizona doesn't make it. They don't make it too far.
Yeah, so this was probably not a surprise. I think we did pick Clemson over Arizona last week.
I have no idea.
Oh, we got to check the tape.
We were haters on Clemson.
But
we picked Clemson.
Yeah.
No, we were haters against Clemson.
Oh dang.
Oh, we were haters. Why do we pick Arizona in hindsight? Like
on the other side of this region, were we hard on? Did we ride on North Carolina, or who was our pick over that on that side?
Oh,
if you guys remember.
Baylor. Baylor did the Final Four.
No. I'm saying like North Carolina, Alabama, like on that side of the.
I believe we had North Carolina. We had
North Carolina versus Baylor.
I think we had North Carolina.
Well then Baylor beating North Carolina.
Neither one of these was the correct Final Four.
Yeah.
We didn't even have the correct Final 8 on this one.
Yeah.
You can't win them all, boys.
Yeah, but.
Or really any.
The other one.
So tonight it's Alabama versus UConn, right?
Yes.
So I mean, we already talked about that matchup. We're going hard on UConn to make it to the championship, right?
Yeah, I mean, I want to.
I'm gonna pick Alabama simply because I'm watching the game in Alabama.
Yeah, but I'm picking UConn.
Alabama. All right.
I'm picking UConn because I have family members that went and love UConn, so I got to root for UConn.
Nice, let's go. Alma maters for UConn, but I'm just picking UConn because domination.
This is the SEC.
So the first gas station I walked into in Alabama, all they have is just like Nick Saban murals and like their football stadium. I was like, man, what a place!
Awesome.
Just it's a random gas station, probably 4 hours away from the University of Alabama.
No kidding. Oh, you won't find that in
Unreal.
Ohio for Ohio State. No way.
No, we're not gonna have.
I mean, would you find that for Michigan, like 4 hours away from Ann Arbor?
No.
Chance.
Wow. I mean, hey, I mean, what else?
They would
I mean,
not
I'm
be
not-
any Harbaugh.
I don't think I've ever driven through or been to Alabama. So, like, what else is there to do in Alabama besides root for Roll Tide, Nick Saban? I don't know.
But you know, I'm doing it 2 weeks. I'm taking my net. Talladega.
Where was it? I couldn't
And
repeat
I
it.
watched the Super Speedway.
I cannot hear you.
No, Talladega.
Oh,
You're going to Talladega Speedway?
Oh, yeah,
Yes, sir.
Nice. All
that was
right.
so much fun. I definitely do agree.
Talladega Nights with Will Ferrell. Ooh, let's go.
Yeah, I definitely do agree on that one. But anyway, do we have any thoughts on Clemson being eliminated?
I mean,
I
we didn't have them going too far. I was never really thinking they were gonna make it too deep into the tournament. So no.
Yeah, unfortunately, Clemson. Like I said, it was the battle of the two teams that made it to the SEC, and Bama rolled Tide to the Final Four.
All right, let's go Huskies over the Tide. Those Elephants.
Yes, but like I said, we do have our matchup right here. It is the Huskies versus Clemson Tides. Douglas, I know you're in Bama, but who do you think is realistically going to win this game?
He already said Bama.
You think Bama's going to do? There's no way. No way. No way.
Stu, it's madness. It's madness.
What's the spread on this game? Do you guys know the spread?
This game right now, gentlemen.
I think it's like 11 and a half.
Oh yeah, you're right. All right. So Doug, do you think you said? I mean, I know you're saying that the Clemson Tide are going to win, but you think they're at least cover the 11.5 point spread?
No, honestly, I don't. I'm just trying to be optimistic.
11 and a half. There's
I
no way.
read somewhere the other day that UConn in their last like 12 or 13 games, they've covered like 11 out of those 12 or 12 out of those 13 games. They've covered the spread. So, all right.
Well,
We'll see. 9 o'clock Eastern time tonight?
Yeah, we'll watch this game. But
statistics too, where it's like they're not even playing their best. Like they're shooting like 20% from three and still beating the line at 25.
yeah, and I honestly think this is going to be a blowout. I do not think it's going to be a fun game. I'm going to say it.
It'll be fun to watch if you're rooting for the Huskies.
If you're rooting for the Huskies, you love this. If you're
Huskies,
just like dominating the whole time, it's like this is we're on easy mode right now. UConn is just dominating. But
I will love if Alabama wins because we're all just hyping up UConn so much.
But interestingly enough, I guess I was going to
It's hard not to hype up the Huskies.
Yeah, but I will tell you this. Interestingly enough. Cardinals,
where Stu's like, it's a guaranteed
gentlemen.
win, and then they lost.
Yeah. But anyway, gentlemen, I was just going to try to say, Alabama, this is their first time in March Madness history that they made it to the Final Four.
Oh, well, they're not going to go much further. Sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to go with UConn right now.
Roll
Tide is about to be rolled out of the tournament.
All right, sir. Do we gentlemen want to move over to the NC State Purdue? That's
Interesting. Yes, we should probably do that right there. But I guess we can talk about the one team that did not make they got eliminated, Houston. Which, in hindsight, why did we pick Houston over Duke?
Well, so Stu, the thing is, I mean, if you I don't know how much you paid attention to it, but Houston's best player twisted his ankle, in the first 5 minutes of the game, and after that happened, Houston was done. So
yeah, it was over. But hey, they're close.
Well, that's the thing; they were close, and they didn't have their best player. So it's I'm not mad at our pick for Houston. It was just a poorly timed injury.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard of Mattress Mac?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he loves Houston, the Cougar Nation, and maybe that's why. Yeah, like Doug was saying, that one of the best players got injured, so that's why we're going on Houston. Well, not because of his injury, but yeah, before his injury, yeah, Houston was definitely the favorite, I'd say.
Yeah, and I guess we should do a eulogy on Houston. How do you feel?
Here's the thing. Sorry to interrupt you, Stu. They only lost to Duke by 3. Had they overcome a 3-point deficit and won the game, they'd be going against NC State. But another thing, it was Duke versus NC State in the ACC championship game. So possibly, I'm not saying things are rigged in sports because I would hate to find out if sports are rigged.
Because that never happened in the NBA once.
Yeah, right. So Duke versus NC State in the ACC championship game, and then they're like, oh, might as well have another rematch of that ACC championship game, and then because NC State won the ACC championship game, and they're like, oh, we'll see who wins the rematch. So if it was Houston versus NC State, but Duke versus NC State, it had to have been something like that working out.
Well, I mean, that's my theory for the women's side. Like, I don't know. I just think that everyone wants to see Caitlin Clark versus SC. So,
yeah.
Caitlin Clark versus an undefeated South Carolina team. Oh, man, that's going to be a game tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Exactly. People are excited about women's college basketball because of this.
Yeah, their ratings, it was like super crazy. It was like 13 million viewers for like the Final Four.
Exactly. On the other side, you have Gio Ariamo, I think that's his name, for UConn, and he's like the most winning coach, one of the most winning coaches in women's history. That would have been a cool matchup too. But yeah, because it's Caitlin Clark, most hyped NCAA women's basketball player of all time, I'd say. Yeah.
Well, they set it up so nicely for Caitlin Clark too. Like I feel like they staged this tournament a little because the fact that she got to play LSU and redeem herself against like the team she lost in the championship last year. Then she got to take out the dynasty in UConn. And then if she beats South Carolina, it's like you really can't have 3 bigger games in a row than that. It's pretty scripted. They scripted it well.
The NFL, it's just like the NFL, it's scripted, right?
Feels like it sometimes.
Yes, they were like, we can't let these Lions make it to the Super Bowl. No.
Dude, that's why they added this new hip drop tackle rule. I guarantee the Lions lose a game because of this rule. That's how it goes.
Yes, that's my prediction. The Lions are somehow going to lose a game, and we're going to have this podcast and be like, so Douglas, how'd you feel about this controversial call right now that happened, the hip drop tackle?
So apparently, with them also eliminating the hip drop tackle, that makes the defense, it's going to be a lot less contact. So I think the over-unders, there's going to be a lot more scoring in the NFL completely.
Yeah, because I think they want more scoring.
Football is going to be wild.
Yeah, and I will be honest. I don't think the NFL wants that like one game. I know we're talking about March Madness, but like I said, we'll talk about a little bit of basketball. I don't think they want to have like that Vikings Raiders game where it was like 3-0, the end of the game. You know what I mean? Where it's a really bad game.
Well, I mean, the thing for me is like if it's like I don't know if you guys remember that Alabama LSU football game a while ago where it was like 9-6. But it felt like the defenses were just that good. Like that Vikings team referred to, Stu, was just really shitty offense. It wasn't like good defense. It was just atrocious offense.
Yes,
and nobody wants to watch that.
Nobody wants to watch that, gentlemen. That was a pretty bad in that sense.
So, wait, how did we veer off? Let's digress. In the words of
I know we probably got to go back. We got to go back. So anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got to talk about Marquette being eliminated from the Sweet 16 by NC State, 67-58. Gentlemen, what's your thoughts about the UOG on Marquette right now? And NC State doing well.
I don't know. I feel like Marquette's another one of those teams like always seems to be really good, but can never quite get the job done.
Yeah, they're the Arizona of March Madness.
I believe that we had Marquette going pretty deep. I could be mistaken, but we definitely didn't have NC State going past Marquette, I'm sure.
I mean, I don't think anybody, unless you're an NC State fan, was going to have
Marquette. I'm pretty sure that's where Dwayne Wade went to college. But I'm all hyped up on NC State. Let's go.
Yes. But anyway.
You guys know where I stand on the Wolfpack.
Wolfpack all the way, baby. But anyway, we'll talk. So we'll do goodbye, Marquette. You unfortunately, I don't know what their mascot is, but like I said, Marquette.
They're Golden Eagles, too.
Yeah, the Golden Eagles, Stu.
I'm sorry, I don't know what the
Golden American Stu.
Stu, come on.
I'm sorry, I disrespected the Golden Eagles.
Wow, Stu.
The Golden Eagles laid a not golden egg. It was actually a rotten egg, and you guys are eliminated.
They laid a goose egg, boy.
Yo.
Well, not really, but yeah.
Yes, it's like that Willy Wonka, and it's like yeah. It's like that movie Willy Wonka where they're trying to have the good eggs and the bad eggs. Marquette gave us a goose egg, and now it's bad.
Oh, they got the bad eggs. Marquette's a bad egg, Sue. Wow. All right, I like the analogy.
I do love the analogy.
Shout out to Gene Wilder and Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yes, original. We're not talking about those.
Oh yeah, not the new one with.
You guys didn't like Timothy Chalamet?
Timothy.
I didn't see that one. I was talking about the other one with.
One with Johnny Depp, who looks like.
Yeah, I saw one. I guess that'd be the third one with. You said Gene Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy, what?
Yeah, you guys should watch that one. I don't know. Andrew and I had a blast on the new one.
I don't know. I'm just not.
Is it on a streaming service by chance, gentlemen?
I believe it's HBO Max.
Oh, that's like the one service I don't have.
Or maybe it was Paramount Plus. I don't know. One of those.
But anyway.
Oh, I'll have to check Paramount. I got that.
But anyway, gentlemen, I guess we can also talk about.
Yeah, let's digress.
The rematch of the Atlantic Conference. Duke versus the Wolfpack, NC State. And NC State, just like beating their conference championship, has won and made it to the Final Four against the Blue Devils.
Let's go Wolfpack! Woo!
And I guess we'll have to do a eulogy on Duke.
No, we don't. They're good every year. Get out of here. Go
Yeah,
home.
I feel like it's like when Duke gets like bounced out early, I don't think anyone feels sorry for them. Even though, granted, they haven't won the tournament since 2015. It's the last time they won it.
No,
I was about to ask when the last time the Blue Devils won the tourney.
2015.
Wow, nice.
Man, that's more recent than Ohio State's won the national title, yo.
I know. Same as Michigan, also.
Yeah, that's not good.
So NC State and Duke played 3 times in the month of March. It was the last day, the last regular season game was NC State versus Duke. Duke won that game. And then they played in the conference championship game. NC State won. And then they played in this game. NC State won. So 3 times in the month of March for those 2 teams to match up. That's crazy.
That is a crazy fact. That is a crazy statistic fact. And look at this. We got NC State, the 11 seed, made it to the Final Four. Crazy enough that we have an 11 seed. Look at
I'm not sure what their fan base does. Like, ooh, or like, ooh. I'm not sure.
I feel like they do
Either way, go NC State.
Oh my God! Did they do it like the dog pound? Like what?
Yeah, I think they're a dog pound style for sure.
Yes, but it is crazy. But like I said, we got the Dukies that made it. But anyway, we got it. We got all the way done to the Huskies.
Purdue.
And now we got to talk about another disappointing dog, Gonzaga, losing to Purdue as always, 80-68. What is your gentlemen? What's your thoughts about eulogy on the Gonzagas?
I think during our last podcast we talked about this matchup, and we even talked about Purdue Gonzaga. They're both chokers, and we're like wondering who was going to come out on top. Purdue came on top, and Gonzaga chokes again.
Yes, I feel like Gonzaga always makes it far in the tournament.
Makes it far. I mean, that was a Sweet 16, right?
I mean, they made it to Sweet 16, but like I said, I feel like this is like their cutoff point, basically.
Cut off.
It's either get eliminated first, get eliminated 32, or.
Oh, Doug, I'm sorry. Doug, what was the question?
I'm sorry. I said, if you guys want to know what this game made me think of?
Yes.
Have you ever seen those videos where you put like a piece of buttered toast on a cat's back, and then you drop the cat? And you're like, all right, it's either the cat, I don't know. Either way, something weird's got to happen because like the butter always lands face down, and the cat always lands on its feet. So it's just like, which one's not going to happen? So somebody has to not choke the game away.
So I was looking at where Gonzaga ended last year. They went to the Elite Eight and lost to UConn, but they got embarrassed last year. It was 82-54.
Oh God!
They did make it to the Elite Eight, Stu. So yeah, you're right.
They made them look like they don't deserve to make the Elite Eight.
I think they said last year UConn won by an average of like 20 plus points a game, and this year they're doing even better.
Yeah, Like, this isn't even a better. Like, who is a better team? Is it UConn last year or UConn this year?
Well, I mean, it depends. If UConn wins the championship, it's hard to say, but they got to win the championship to make that comparison.
Yeah, because like I said, both teams look dominant. Like they
unfortunately for them, Alabama's coming.
No Tide. It's rolling into the failure. But anyway, I digress. Unfortunately, Gonzaga, you choked it away yet again. But I guess we can talk about the other teams right now that have been eliminated. We will talk about Creighton.
Hey, we picked Creighton to go to the Final Four.
And we were incorrect because Creighton lost to the Tennessee Volunteers 82-75. Gentlemen, I guess we'll do a eulogy right now. We'll do a quick eulogy. What's your thoughts about Creighton going out of the tournament right now?
I don't know. No words on this eulogy for them. No words.
I mean,
I'm not a huge Creighton fan, so I really don't know enough about the situation.
I feel
like I don't even know what state the school of Creighton is in.
Like it's kind of weird. That's how I feel about Creighton. They're like the weird anomaly team that we don't really talk about much in basketball, to be honest with you. That at least made it to the far. Are they out of the 1 through 4? Is Creighton the least talked about? That made it to at least that was ranked 1 through 4.
Let's see what Creighton was the 2 seed, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
3 seed.
You said 3 seed?
Yes.
Wow, so I had no idea. Creighton is in Nebraska. I was not expecting that.
I mean, I did not know either.
I thought Creighton was gonna be on the East Coast, where maybe in Pennsylvania or.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's I'm looking at all.
But what? So you're saying Creighton was a 3 seed? I mean.
Yeah, but are they the least known of those top 4 seeds of all the teams? The least, the least covered.
Possibly. I don't know. They usually have some good games on.
Yeah.
It's hard to say though.
I feel like it's they're that weird in the middle child. They're the redheaded stepchild of the NBA. That's at least makes it far. But fortunately for Creighton, you got eliminated. And now we got to talk about the final one where Tennessee Volunteers lost to Purdue 72-66. Great game, I got to say. And Purdue makes it to the Final Four. I guess we'll talk about the Volunteers voluntarily getting eliminated right now.
Oh, yeah. I'm not surprised. They're another one of those teams that it seems like they occasionally have a nice season, but you never really expect them to actually do anything with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that Purdue is finally making a statement. I know they lost in the first round last year, but Zach Edey, he's getting his work done, and now they're more than likely Purdue's going to make it to the championship this year. So yeah, this win, 72-66, a real big staple for the Boilermakers.
Yeah, boil up, baby. That's what I gotta say.
Sugar.
It's time to boil them up. Volunteers, unfortunately, just got boiled.
Oh, over easy.
Steamboat. Sugar.
But like I said, look at this, gentlemen. We have the Final Four, which is in a couple days. When we do our next podcast, we will know who's going to be the championship. So we got to pick.
Well, hey, we already picked UConn to
and Douglas wants to pick Alabama because of bias. I'm just saying, bias.
Boys,
so we picked
I don't
UConn.
like
so,
Alabama.
gentlemen, let's talk about NC State versus Purdue. Who are we picking in that
I'm
matchup?
Gonna go with. I know NC State, and I'm looking at it right now. So Purdue has at least been sort of dominant. They have not been super dominant. NC State. I feel like this is going to be an interesting matchup, but I have a feeling Purdue's going to get it.
So right now the line is +9 to NC State. I'm taking NC State +9. I think I mentioned it earlier. I'm not.
State or Purdue?
No, +9. No, that means NC State's they're not gonna win by more than 9.
Oh, okay. I was like,
so that means Purdue has to win by 9 or more. And
no way the betting odds are putting NC State over Purdue. I'm just saying.
Here, Stuart, scroll down a little bit. I want to see where Purdue. All right, so Purdue. All right, so they won by 28. They won by 439. They won by 12. Okay, it might. Ooh, wow. Yeah.
This is always going to be an interesting one. So I think I'm going to pick Purdue. I think Purdue's going to do
Yeah,
it.
I'm going Purdue as well.
I like the Huskies. I like NC State, but I think if my heart tells me NC State, but my brain tells me Purdue's going to get it.
My heart says Wolfpack. My brain says Boilermakers.
Yeah, my brain says Boilermakers, but my heart says Huskies.
Wolfpack, sir. The Huskies are the UConn.
Sorry, the Wolfpack. But Douglas, who are you going to pick?
I mean, the Wolfpack is like a pack of Huskies. So yeah, you're right. You're right, Stu.
Yes. Today.
Give me the Boilermakers.
Oh, we got the Boilermakers right here.
So, gentlemen, like Stuart said, the next time we do the podcast, it's going to be after the championship game. So we're saying UConn versus Purdue in the championship game. What are we feeling?
I'm going. All right. Is it okay if I go first, gentlemen?
Stuart, it's your podcast. You go first. Go. Yeah, you got it, Stu.
All right. I'm going to go with a repeat. I'm going UConn.
All right now.
Douglas, who you picking? Choco Choco Chew?
Yeah, I'm gonna say Zach Edey, like my prediction earlier. I think it's gonna be 2 for 2, 16 or one seeds that lose to a 16 win it all the next year.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good one. All right, Fyodor, you're gonna be the final pick.
All right, guys. Like Stuart said, the last team that won back-to-back, that was with the Florida Gators, 06-07, right?
Yes.
So that's been about, what, 17 years roughly?
Yeah, 17 years, yeah.
So, Stuart, piggybacking off what you said, I think it's time for a repeat champion. Let's go Huskies. UConn's got it. UConn wins it over Purdue.
Man, it's going to be so hard when UConn doesn't even make it, boys.
Oh, because
I don't know about that. I'm just saying. I'm thinking it's going to be them. It's looking like them.
To be fair, I hope we're all incorrect. I hope it's Alabama versus NC State, and I hope NC State wins the entire thing.
How funny would that be?
Wolfpack Nation.
That's a seed. So technically, so there's never been an 11 seed that's won the tournament. I think the highest was Villanova in the 80s. That was an 8 seed. If I remember, it was like 85. Don't quote me on it.
I'm pretty sure an 8 seed won it probably like 10 years ago.
No, I think when's the last? I don't think
won it as a 7 like 5-6 years ago or something.
Wait, who was that, Doug?
UConn, of course. They won it as a
UConn Nation.
I mean,
just
say the highest.
Or say the lowest seed, not the highest seed. Say the lowest seed, Sue, if you're going to Google it.
Okay, the lowest seed to win March Madness. Yeah, I was right. Villanova, 85 was an 8 seed.
Wow, Stu, that's awesome that you knew that. So I mean, Stu, we should everything you know, we should stop Googling because you already know it.
Yeah. Yes. So look at that. You can't deny
it. When they won it like a few years ago.
Who won it a few years ago?
Can you let me know what seed UConn was? It was UConn, Kentucky. I think there were like a couple of 7 seeds or something.
I know last year UConn was like a 4 seed.
Oh my! Dude, what the heck? People are driving terrible out here, boys.
Doug, are you driving the truck? Are you pulling the trailer?
No, I got my rental car because my truck got hit.
Oh God! What?
I'm sorry about that.
I'm in a Toyota Tacoma.
Oh, nice. So is that pulling the trailer, or you're just driving the truck around?
I'm just driving this truck around.
Nice. Man, who hit your truck and what happened?
I was pulling the trailer, and there was 2 left-hand turn lanes. And this person just kind of cut across, hit my front bumper, scruffed her all up.
Oof. All right, well, good thing it was just a minor car incident.
Yeah, she should be looking pretty on Wednesday when I go to pick her up.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now, the bracket right now. Where was UConn in the tournament right now?
So you probably just go to wikipedia.com, search the champions.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Oh my God, Colorado Pitt made it. Oh, Ohio State. Oh yeah, that was the year that Dayton beat Ohio State in the tournament. If you remember that.
Nice.
That was not nice, Douglas. I was
Fly,
sad.
fly, 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 fly. Well, yeah, there's the one year that the University of Ohio beat Michigan as I think it was a 13 versus a 4.
Oh, really? What year was that?
Oh gosh, that was probably like 2018, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
That was
and then your Wolverines beat my Longhorns that year. Thanks, Douglas.
Well, did you get this UConn stats too?
I'm
Yeah,
looking it
Sue,
up.
come on.
I'm looking up where you.
They just won the It was only like 5-6 years ago.
All right,
I'm
all right.
looking it up.
It
I'm
was
trying to look it up.
2014. 2014.
I'm looking it up, gentlemen.
Sir, I found it right here.
Oh, they were the 7th seed. They were the 7th seed.
Yeah, I found it right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
it
confused
yeah.
that year.
UConn was a 4 seed last year. UConn was a 7 seed 2014. Wow, a bunch of 1 seeds keep winning it. Oh, in 1988, Kansas was a 6 seed. Villanova, 1985, 8 seed. All right.
Yeah, and that was.
And UConn's a 1 seed, boys. We're picking them here.
Yeah.
I would love to wonder when the time comes what the over-under. No, not the over-under. The spread is if it's going to be UConn versus Purdue, or when it's going to be UConn versus Purdue in the championship.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good one.
Oh,
I definitely. Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one.
Wow, that'd be a fun game for sure.
All right, gentlemen. So we picked the national championship.
UConn
winner,
champions right now, who are
the number
gonna
1 seed UConn Huskies.
The Husky Nation is about to dominate this one.
Heck yeah.
And look at this, gentlemen. We just almost done. Actually, we're pretty much done.
Good
with
timing.
This week's podcast,
Beautiful.
and look at that, 46 minutes.
That's
done
very
it.
reasonable, Stu.
That's
All
very
right,
reasonable.
gentlemen.
Viewers happy.
But I was thinking for next week, gentlemen. I was thinking maybe we could do either a Thursday. If that,
So wait, when's the NFL draft? That's April 24th, right?
no, that's gonna be on a Thursday. So I was thinking we can do like a 2-week where we do a podcast on Stanley Cup and then try to do a recap the next day after the NFL draft won.
I say maybe next week could be Stanley Cup, and then the
no, Stanley Cup is not ready.
That's like the week before the NFL draft. We do a NFL draft.
Yeah, I will say Stanley Cup is not next week. They still got.
Well, not the Stanley Cup, but we're talking about Stanley Cup playoffs because I think the end of the season's coming up, right?
Yeah, so I was
think last time we talked about the NHL, there was like 6 games left in the season.
Yeah,
that was like 2 weeks ago, so season's coming to an end soon, yeah.
So I was thinking.
Yeah, the Red Wings have 7 games left.
Yeah, so I was thinking, gentlemen, we could probably do for next week. We could probably talk about March Madness, and then maybe either do a little bit of baseball, or we can do a double. We could do a double header. We can do one, because that's when the Stanley Cup is about to start. In 2 weeks, at the end of 2 weeks, maybe we can do 1 week where we can discuss, gentlemen, on the crazy NFL free agency right now, which I honestly am loving right now. I think this is honestly the most craziest free agency so far.
Stu, I'm surprised that you're a fan of it, being a Cowboys fan. You guys really haven't done anything.
Oh,
we're supposed to go on, right?
Thanks.
What? You guys let all your players leave and didn't sign anyone.
No, we signed one player, and it was the San Diego Chargers player. That was it.
Yeah, like who's going to be your running back? Like, there's no more. We'll save this for next time. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, let's digress. In the words of our great leader Stuart Jasper, let's digress.
Yeah, let's
digress.
digress.
Let's digress until next time. Then we could the reverse of digress.
Yeah, so maybe I was thinking for next week we can talk about the Final Four matchups, the last couple games, and
Final Four. It'll be a championship next week, Stu. We got it now. We can talk about the championship, and then yeah.
I was thinking maybe we could talk about some baseball.
Yeah, Stu, that's good. That's good. Well, we can talk about it more offline too. Come up with a concrete plan.
Yeah, nice. I'm definitely getting for a concrete plan for that.
Gentlemen, always a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Like I said, as always, I will catch you later, Mr. Gators. So peace out.
All right now.
We're done.
Beautiful, gentlemen. That was great.